So
Okay. It's
there you
recorded
go.
and I'll post it with the other
All right,
video.
cool. So yeah, so basically, just like we all follow Kish or whatever. Most of what I'm going to show you is based on what Kish has taught us, and I did not know it was that at first, and I'm pretty sure that not many people have realized it. But um, when he speaks of hourly rotation, it's basically the weekly profile, but fractally, right, on a fractal level. So I start with the ONS session. So I need my ONS session from 4 to 9 o'clock. Now I'm using New York time. I'm not using Chicago time. So instead of, I think normally ONS goes from 5 to 8:15, the way he does it because of Chicago time, or 9:15 or something. But I use 4 to 9 basically because from a 5 hour standpoint on a chart, that's literally the previous 5 hour candle from 4 o'clock, from 4 a.m. to 9 a.m. So that's just what I use as my ONS. And from there, so if this is so that's 4 o'clock and this is 9 o'clock, yeah. So this is where I stop it basically. And from there, just practical ONS stuff. I just want to see my 4 a.m. open right there. Hold on. I just want to see my 4 a.m. open here, and obviously ONS buy side and sell side. And fractally speaking, from a weekly standpoint, I just look at it as my previous week, right? So if I was to look at this chart as like a daily chart, this would be what happened the previous week. Now, for those who are familiar with when we were talking about efficient versus inefficient ranges, then I just need to answer the question: is this range, is this previous week efficient or inefficient? So at the moment, it looks very inefficient, which means we need, just like Olu loves to say, we need a body right there, because this is the last time the market tried to have like an expansion to the upside before it failed. So we need a close right there. So I start identifying these key levels like this. And from there, the one thing, the only last thing that I need to do now is identify the closest internal liquidity inside of this range. And that is always going to be automatically the 8 o'clock hourly cycle, buy side and sell side liquidity. So in this particular case, because this profile was already showing bearishness, I just needed buy side liquidity to be taken, and then CSD anywhere up here short. Now, in terms of CSD, I use the 12 minute because again, weekly profile is fractal. So I fractalize every one of these cycles, if I can say it like that. So the 5 hour fractalize, sorry, the weekly profile, I fractalize it into 5 hours, and then the 5 hour candle, I fractalize into 1 hour, and then the 1 hour, I fractalize it into 12 minute, so that every single time I get a set of five, 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 five candles. So if I go on the 12 minute here, and I look at this 8 o'clock hourly rotation from a 12-minute standpoint, is going to be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So from here, I would look at this as a previous week in itself to be able to trade what's going to come next. So when 9 o'clock comes in, I just want to see a trade above this, CSD anywhere up here, short, right? So the short came in right there, CSD at 9:48, CSD of this candle. All I have to do next is wait for this pullback entry, exactly like what Olu said as well. Actually, Olu is the one who inspired me with that. I think it was like last Saturday or maybe 2 Saturday ago. it was the first time you mentioned the fact that you were only trading the 1 hour chart, and you don't mind big stop losses and everything. And I used to really, really mind big stop loss. Like, it used to scare the shit out of me. But when you said that, I thought, you know what? Okay, let me implement it that way. Because what I used to do was I would wait for the CSD on the 12 minute, and when the market comes back, I would try to go on a 1 minute and find the minutia, how can I say, key levels into this CSD or whatever. And I think there is a video as well where Kish said he doesn't believe that when it comes to your entry fractal, you need to go even lower in time frame. So if you have like your confirmation on the 4 minute, he doesn't believe that when the market comes back, you necessarily have to go to the 1 minute to enter. But if you're precious about precision and everything, you can do that. So I guess from what Olu said, I started to develop the confidence to just accept these type of 33-point stop losses, get in a trade, and from there I just target 1.5 standard deviation from the CSD, so from up here to down here, and TP 1.5. So that's just what I do every single day or whatnot. And also another thing, I'm only trading, so this approach only allows me to trade between 9 a.m. and 2 p.m. So anything after 2 p.m. I'm not interested. And just so you can visually see it, from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. in terms of weekly profile, it would look like this. So you can literally split the chart. You can see Monday behaved this way, expansion on Monday after taking out Friday, buy side liquidity, and then pull back for the rest of the week. Literally the way actual weekly profiles and purge and revert works in real time weekly profiles. So, but that's just what I use intraday wise. That's really about it. I don't know if that makes sense, to be honest. If it doesn't, just let me know. On this day, it was pretty tough because the market never came back, and I did not expect 9 a.m. Instagon stipler, Instagon show on Twitter. I did not expect to have 9 a.m. just literally start. Where's 4 a.m. is here. So I did not expect 9 a.m. to literally act like this immediately on the 12 minute. So that was a huge CSD. But when we got all the way down here, I believe on ES, this was a little bit deeper. There was like a SMT somewhere here in ES. So that kind of gave me the confidence to jump into this on the week here and just take up all the way up until this high, because I wasn't sure if the market was going to try to reach for the 50%. So I stopped at the ONS open and just kept it cool. But this kind of scared me or whatnot. Previous day, I think it was Tuesday, that was tough. This one was a decent day as well. So if I go 4 a.m. 4 a.m. to 9, right there. This one was a decent day because I caught the short, but I was trying to catch the short because technically this range is inefficient. So I thought, it wouldn't be crazy to aim for ONS open. So I was aiming for ONS open, but then, so I caught the short on 1 minute, by the way. If I just come here, I'll just show you. Right. So I'll just highlight the buy side and the sell side of Friday, or Friday fractal, if I can say it like that. So it's 8:48. Wait, what? The previous hour, sorry, is 8 o'clock. So right there, yeah. So it was this sell side, buy side, right there. So on the 1 minute, it was looking like this. Now, this right here did not mean much to me. In one of the August video from Kish, whenever we have, so my confirmation, I like to have liquidity runs. I don't like sweeps. So when I see stuff like this, to me, it's just like, might as well have been equal, relative equal lows. And in one of the videos from August, honestly, I don't remember the title. I need to look for that video again. But in one of the videos, Kish said that when the market delivers, or when the market has delivered what it was supposed to deliver, from there you start looking for CSD above the candle that delivered at the level. So this is the candle that delivered at the level, buy side liquidity, and from there you start hunting for CSDs. So you want a candle to close above this and then CSD that to then short. So delivery met, candle above, no CSD, candle above, no CSD, no CSD, no CSD, no CSD, no CSD. I saw this, I tried to force it in, I got in, and then this candle came in because my stop loss was so tight. I got stopped out, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna wait it out. But when this one came in, I just thought, okay, any return to this inversion fair value gap right there, I'll just short it. So I shorted from here, stop loss up here, all the way to, I was aiming for 4 a.m. open, but the market surprised me. And that's the only thing about this approach that kind of annoys me, because I'm chasing the distribution of the day. Like, I want to catch the actual move, that makes the daily candle. I tend to find myself in a situation where I would be in a trade every single time, be in profit or whatever, and I could technically sometimes be wrong about the target. So on this particular trade, I was aiming for 4 a.m. open, and then this happened before 10 a.m. and I ended up with a small amount of profit. But from here, all I did was playing the hourly rotation instead of the 5 hour rotation, where I was just looking at this range, the last 12 minute of the hour. So it was from here to here. So this would be the last 12 minutes of the hour. So when 10 a.m. opens, there is a trading rule that I have that says, if the range, if EO opens, like time EO, start at the 50% of the previous range in which the market is trading, then wait for obviously the expansion outside of the range, either the CSD of the 50% or the expansion outside of the range, and take the retracement to the upside. So when the market came here, I lost, the majority of the profit that I was making here. So let's just call it break even or whatnot. And when 10 a.m. open, I just waited for the market to trade above the open price of the last 12 minutes of the previous hourly rotation. And we swept the low here. And then at some point we close above the open with a CSD, and we come back and I take the trade or some shit. Yeah, it was there, and then I just entered here with my stop loss at the low of this candle, 43 points, which is crazy. I don't like that. But anyway, all I did was measure this, because at this point I was a little bit, I thought this would be a good CSD, so I just measured this right here for a 1.5 right there, and I got that to the upside. Tuesday was the hardest day because I got clapped there so many times with the back and forth. It was really tough. So I'm not even going to go through that day because I'm still trying to back test it to to see what I could have done right, or if it's something that I need to consider in terms of playbook on how to maneuver, the profiles, or how to maneuver price delivery around this kind of ONS. So I don't even know what to say about this for the time being. So that's kind of how I approach the market, um, using Kish stuff and ICT stuff. So when he talked about he was going to do a thing about weekly profiles or whatever, and purge and revert, I was really interested to know exactly what he was going to talk about, but unfortunately it's on Patreon only, so whatever. But yeah, that's literally that.
Amazing. Thank you so very much for sharing. That's very interesting.
Still writing about it. Still, there's so many. I feel like ICT didn't give us like all the profiles. There are so many profiles when you look at it from a fractal perspective. So many different profiles, but the same thing that same. There is something. One thing that keeps recurring over and over and over is that because of this, I realized there are only like maybe like five types of key levels really: high, lows, and 50%, open and close. I don't really count the close that much, but as long as you have those, man, you can navigate the market pretty easily, because those are the only places where the market seems to be super, super, super sensitive. And you see how you talk about invalidations and from expansions and that kind of stuff. I do want to implement that somewhere here, because usually the heaviest expansion is going to happen after 10 o'clock, and which would invalid what Monday Fractal did. So sometimes I want to learn how to navigate that and be able to, how can I say, because sometimes it's not expected. Like this day, for example, I did not expect this to fail. So I would look at this expansion and think to myself, okay, because we took out buy side and it's inefficient, so surely the market is going to come here. But I don't ever ask myself, but where does this invalidate? Do you get what I'm saying? So I need to start implementing that. That's why I pay attention when you talk about those when you look at expansions, invalidation the way you do. And I think once I implement that, I'll be a little bit more, well, seasoned, lack of better words. Mm.
Another thing I could say is also, which it comes back to really, I think the day 2 of August, because that was
Mm.
the genesis for the continuation block stuff,
Yeah.
which is, Kish asked the question when we were trying to shot, and it was like, why do you guys, I think Kamaro is requesting to join.
Is it? Oh shit. Yeah, that's what I was asking earlier. Is there no way people can just join without requesting? Because I don't usually use
Disable
Zoom.
settings.
I need to learn Zoom. I've accepted, but it's taken a while. Okay, so yeah, no. Yeah, so yeah, what
Okay,
about
so
August? Yeah.
coming back to that was that, and part of the things, maybe because I'm just using expansions and I'm just, they would say it's better to just learn a kick 1,000 times or something like that.
Yeah,
It's like if you see after, if I annotate on your chat just for a minute, it's like
yeah, go for it.
after this, even though initially I would look at this as, oh, this is it. But when I think about it, it's just
Mm,
one candle, at least on this time frame.
yeah.
Not indicating that it's not expanding. I think in an old video, Kish really hammered that let expansions be your guide. It's like
Mm,
we have this bearish expansion. So let's say you started here, we believe that 4 a.m. is the
mm,
price. Since then, there are only two bearish expansions. Oh, sorry, three,
mm,
because this also is an expansion there. If I remove all this 1 minute. So we have this one, that, nothing more.
mm.
it has been this way. All right, this
Yeah,
is massive. It falls down, it goes down, but nothing more. Instantly, we started having this again.
yeah,
Like once I say this, it makes me feel like, you know what, this market is not. I think there is that salvation, if I can use that word, that most of
mm,
us ICT or maybe TCM traders have to have from reversal trading, or maybe if I can say.
yeah, yeah.
So that's, I don't know, expansions help me to keep track. Of course, one would ask maybe if you're looking left to right and stuffs like that. But
But
for
how would you? So right now you look at it from the 5 minute. If I'm being honest, I haven't checked the 5 minute in a long time. I'd only put
Mhm,
the 5 minute because I know most people are used to it. But if you were to look at it from the 1 minute, because I go 5, 1, 12, 1, right? In terms
mhm.
of time frames. So here in this instance, for example, right, you would see this as an expansion, surely.
Yes.
But at this invalidation, from the way you've explained so far, because in my mind, I guess in my mind, if I see bullish expansion like this and then bearish expansion like this, automatically I'm thinking BPR, therefore 50% continuation to the downside.
Hmm.
So at which point between these two, you're saying to yourself, okay, this expansion to the downside invalidated this,
Hmm.
but what is the safeguard in case it's just like a Judas swing and a fake out? How do you consolidate that? Does my question make sense?
I believe I understand it.
Okay.
When I trade, especially on the lower time frame, I still trade as much as I said what I said. I still trade reversals, but
Yeah.
I do continuations to guide myself. If I'm on the lower time frames on Nasdaq, if I'm on H1 on Nasdaq, strictly continuations. Most
Yeah.
times, just very few times that I would trade reversals on H1 on
Okay.
Nasdaq.
Okay.
My
Okay.
data says I shouldn't really.
Yeah.
I was trying to trade on the 1 minute for reversal and quants, and maybe know my model. This
Yeah.
expansion, Kish gave it in the video I recommended. This is an
Yeah. Yeah.
expansion.
Mm,
Kish says if the second candle after the expansion ends is not an OB, wait for your expansion, wait for the OB to be in a different expansion relatively to that first key expansion. So in the match series, Kish says you need two expansions, or you can use an expansion if you're working on one time frame. It says find an expansion, let that expansion be the high, its low, let it be your key level.
mm,
What do you need? You need an OB. If
mm.
the OB can happen either as a second candle, because if it doesn't happen in the first candle, that would be like the open of that first candle, if it was not an OB, would be your key level. So I counted like, okay, this guy should be my second, should be my hobby. Not happening. This was my hobby. Is this hobby a part of, so this close above this, is this
Yeah.
hobby a part of an expansion? Yes, it close above this. All right,
Okay.
a CST of this. This is on my, this is
Yeah.
this is from Kish. What I'm saying is not
Mm.
mine.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
This
I remember.
happens, I'm going to sell there. Where am I going? Kish says target the other side of the expansion there.
Of the expansion.
Done.
Mm.
If I was trading this on the 1 minute for reversals, good.
Yeah.
All right. Let's say I'm looking at it from the eye of continuation, because in this instance, my stop would be at that high, of course. If I
Mm.
was looking from the perspective of that, most times I can either reference the previous range and ask myself, where is the last continuation block inside this range there? Because we have this
Oh. Okay.
expansion, this. That is the last one that is high enough. I'm not sure if I cut through this, if I don't know, maybe this, depending, I do not know if I'm using my indicator. So maybe that could be. In this interacts with it. So if market is going up, that is it. I want to, most times I prefer the open of the expansion to buy. This was a retracement back into it.
Yeah.
If I'm scalping, if it's 20 point, depending on 1 minute, definitely 20 point, 50 point max. then I can buy a retracement because I'm guessing this would be the open of the market because that's a very big candle. So there, where would my stop loss be? I look at the same thing. Expansion, bearish expansion. We closed below it there. Bearish expansion, we didn't close it, we wicked it here. So this is the nearest one. Stop is there, entry is there. Is it worth it? That's a question for me to go somewhere on the side where I feel I should retrace to. So that is continuation. But let's say I missed all this because I wasn't convinced. This happened here, there. Let's say you caught this like you were waiting here. I'll be telling my once this prints, because this is an expansion, this is an expansion. That's why I said on the 1 minute when I'm
Can
trading
you
one, it's always exhausting.
can you zoom in a little bit? A little
Okay,
bit more.
if you can
Just
zoom
a bit.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. It's just zoom in as in like
there.
A bit bigger. Yes. Wonderful. Thank you.
Okay. So if you're based on this line that you highlighted, so this line there was an expansion there. There's another one there. There is one here. So if I'm looking from left to right, this would have been the first bearish continuation block.
mhm,
The next question becomes, what was the last expansion that didn't have one? This guy. So this, and then this expansion goes through it. This is my bullish continuation block, just using
yeah.
continuation block. We expand through it. We didn't close above. So the next bullish continuation block will appear somewhere above that guy. But let's stick to this. So bullish continuation block, first bearish continuation block. We see yesterday on M1, like I tell my friends, there's a lot of false positive, lots of it.
True.
So
Very true.
comes back here, I would sell this. Let's say we are selling mechanically, just trading M1, nothing more.
Yeah.
My stop would be above this. What is going to give me confidence? We have to see yesterday's guy because this is also a continuation block, a bearish one, because it's to this. We have to. Failure to see yesterday's, I don't feel comfortable. It's just, that's the first thing. All right. Once we are going above, I lose interest. Once this is happening, of course, there's nothing here that is telling me to, actually there is, because look at it again. Expansion, right? Okay, maybe not the best. Okay, don't let me confuse. So there is nothing more. Loss. All right, it's a big loss. It's a small loss. I do not know. What else? The loss is done. Nothing else I can do. Expansion. Expansion. Price can retrace here to put one. It's 1 minute, it just wicked it, it went off. It can put a down candle here, it did not. Before all this happened, we highlighted that this guy was going to be our next bullish continuation block. Price gets here. If price is here and I entered after my loss here, I'm going to have a massive drawdown into, because my next stop loss is going to be here to buy. So entry there, stop here. I always look for one on the 1 minute. It works for me so much.
Yeah.
Once that enters here, this is here. If I'm truly bullish and I'm seeing this rejection, I'm adding positions there and there. Because why? There is nothing inside. The next time I can be bearish, price has to close below this. So if I'm adding positions here, of course, lesser risk. I am only trying to get in here because I'm seeing prices are refusing to. But let's say this is 1 minute. I'm not so fast to make the decision. Just here and stop there. Target out. Where's the first target? I know that this was the last expansion. We have to close above it. Close above it. I have to make back what I lost here. Make it back, maybe somewhere there. And that's all. Nothing more. And now we are tracking. This was not an expansion. This was not an expansion. This will trace down, nothing more. Next time we close above here, nothing happened. And that's just it. And it will be 1 win, 1 loss. And that's the end of my day, depending on how far what my stuff is. But see, even on the 1 minute, bearish expansion. Oh, okay, this. might be, no. This close below it, so not even good. There. Second bearish expansion. Until we close below this. So if I cut this is a bearish expansion. This is happening below it. It didn't close through it. So this is not a CB. This close through it. This returns back to it. This is your bearish. So even if I did not add any position or anything, and I'm looking at this, the moment we close above this, all my stop moves from here. Yeah, because this is now the new
invalidation.
There you go. So I have secured, actually it's just back at B, but sometimes it's higher. And then you watch it go. No praying, no nothing, but isn't it interesting that nothing, and that's why I like that 2nd of August, we just keep going up. No bearish expansion. Nothing in this is showing bearishness yet. Nothing. So it's like, okay, market should keep going up. And
we got about 3 minutes left.
yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And so that's how I trade. When I'm on the lower time frame, I look for it desperately before I enter.
Yeah.
Even if unless I'm trading reversals, you must, then I'll tell myself I must. And let's see this for a minute. If expansion, 1, 2, second candle was not an hobby. All right. Where is the hobby of that guy? There. Is it part of an expansion? Yes. When did we see a state? Yeah. Entry. And this is why I combine entry there. I also knew that this guy was also my OB. So this reversal idea I trade, the OB that I'm considering is an OB and it's also a continuation block. This is very sensitive for me. Entry there. Buy. Stops there, comes back into it again. I'm adding a second position here, definitely. Goes up. This is the first expansion. Until we close below this is my early invalidation. So actually my stop is here, but don't expand through here because this is the next expansion that is here. Don't expand through here because then this can happen, CST, DCB, and go down. If I see an expansion through here, I can quickly cut this so I'm not taking a full loss. But I'm not very mechanical when I'm trading CB. I'm a little bit, I had a little bit of sprinkle of that there. But really, because if you guys watch Tom Hogarth, I love the man. He's amazing. He just finished. I think he's the best trader out there that does the thing every day to a live audience. And his idea is simple. If price is going up, keep buying. If price is going down, keep selling. That's just it. And expansions of all these things help us to, and that's what I wanted with continuation block. Prices keep going in one direction, keep hammering in that direction, and don't be afraid. Yep.
Guys, we got about 1 minute left if anyone else wants to sit there.
There's a man with a crystal ball.
I am a little bit tired, actually, just chilling on my couch. But to make it simple, when you know the right direction, and we had here MSS here, right? From that moment, we are bullish. Every sell candle, we don't want to see them when you are long, and I understand that. But every sell candle is an order block, a future order block, a next order block, and the price and the down candles will sustain price. Sustain price here, sustain price here.
Hold up, Camaro is going to cut off. We literally have 3 seconds left.